There we go.
It is Halloween today for us recording this. And it is also game 6 of the World Series. And everybody's hoping the Blue Jays will win tonight or go to game 7 and win tomorrow night.
Oh, me nerves. Me nerves.
I'm fully bandwagoned on this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I'm fully bandwagon. The thing is, I didn't go to a lot of Jays games when I was living in Toronto because we were so close. So obviously, of course.
So you are a big fan.
Yeah. But let's be clear, bandwagon for sure. And we have a Halloween party tonight that we're going to, and there's going to be showing the game at it.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously, because I think everybody would have left
they wouldn't get people to stay. No.
Yeah.
No, it's the whole city is going to be watching it. It's going to be mental.
It's going to be mental.
Yeah.
The whole city, the whole country.
Yes, the whole country, to be fair. And probably a lot of Americans who don't want the Dodgers to win too. So that would be great. Honestly, God, I won't be able to cope if they lose tonight. I know they still have a chance. They still have a chance. But honestly, it was such a downer when I booked a table in Belfast Love on King. So last week when they won the first game, I was like, I better book something just in case. And I didn't want to jinx it, but I was like, jinx or not, I'm going to have to book somewhere and I'm never going to get anywhere if I don't do it now. So that was the only place I could find a week ago to book.
Wow.
Where I knew they had TVs, because there was a lot of places open like Earl's and stuff like that, but they didn't have as many TVs. Like they might have like one or two. So wanted to get somewhere that had TVs everywhere, and that kind of has a bit of an atmosphere. So we're going to Belfast Love tonight. But yeah, it'd be such a downer tonight if they lose. But if they win, good Lord.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember the city when the Raptors won?
I sure do. Yeah, that was mental. That was only like 2 years after I moved here. So it's just like, wow, like this is insane.
Yeah.
Did you go to the parade?
Well, it was all right. It was kind of outside our door.
Yeah.
So it went past, because we were still working in Queen's Quay Terminal. I don't know if you were still working. I don't think you were.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So it kind of was basically came past where we were working.
Yeah.
So
and Drake was on the bus.
Yeah.
And he's nowhere to be seen at the Raptors games now. I was at one last week. Not there.
And he's got some stuff going on.
Yeah, he's some personal problems.
He always.
Yeah. But he is a bandwagon fan. So anyway,
we could get better Toronto representation and Canadian representation than Drake for sure.
Yeah. Oh my God, this team is great though. Like that kid, the pitcher. Oh my God, he's only 22. You savage.
So good.
Imagine 22 being up there in the most stressful situation of your entire life, pitching to the best player probably of all time. Like mental. I can barely go into a meeting and talk in front of people. Like at 36.
I know.
Anyway,
I'm wearing a Chucky costume tonight because the theme of the party is the 80s. So either just like general 80s or like 80s horror icons. Yeah, and so I bought a Chucky costume online kind of last minute, to be fair, because I kind of was like, I need to get a costume sorted. And so I don't know if you remember what that doll looks like, but it's it basically is pajamas.
Yeah,
because it's that long jumper, the overalls, the red wig. Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
You're going to look like a ride.
But like last minute, I was like, I'm just going to buy like XL men's size because it's a baggy costume anyway. And I hate the way the sizes with some of those costumes are always like a little dodge. So I was like, let's do it. So I tried it on and I swear to God, this might be my like loungewear for the winter. They're so comfortable. And I was like, can you imagine if I'm just like around the house in like a Chucky costume because it's so comfortable. Someone go to answer the door and I'm just...
And they just scream and run away. And call the police. I mean, if it's comfy, it's comfy.
It's so comfy. And honestly, maybe without the red wig, nobody would clock it. They would just think I was a little eccentric.
True. Just don't wear that on a Saturday morning.
That's not going to be comfortable.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Have you tried the wig yet?
No.
Oh, well, you might like it.
Maybe.
Like, this keeps my head nice and warm.
I don't think I bought a good enough wig that would ever have me liking it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's a costume. It's a costume wig. And it's shorter than it should be as well, so I don't know.
It'll be fine. Okay, please send me pictures.
I will. But I also think that like that costume plus a Blue Jays jersey might be the way forward.
Yeah. Over the pajamas.
Over it. Yeah.
Wow. That's perfect.
Take
Killing
him
two birds at
Canadian.
one stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's plans.
Okay.
That's plans for tonight. Yeah.
Very good. Hopefully it all goes well and it's not a horror show.
Or, well, it's Halloween. You kind of want it. Anyway, the game though, sure.
That game, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know if you leave now, pick up a costume on the way, you could come to the party.
Well, I've already got Belfast Love booked.
There you go. Yeah, well.
I actually have no costume. I have a Blue Jays t-shirt I could wear, I guess. I also have like softball jerseys, I guess I could wear and pretend I'm dressed up as a softball player.
Just make sure it's, I guess, in the colours. Or some Canadian, if you've got any Canadian stuff.
Maple Leaf stuff. No, but anyway, it'll be fine. I think I'll just dress normal.
Yeah.
Maybe in skimpy clothes, because it's the one night a year you can
Halloween.
Nobody can judge you. I don't even have any skimpy clothes, so I have to buy them first. So we'll see. But anyway, speaking of spookiness and scary stuff,
return to Office Man days, because we've never talked about it before. Not exactly.
We just love it, and they keep providing us with more content to talk about. So what can we do?
Watching all the predictions unfold in front of us is very satisfying in a way.
It is, and they continue to roll out the mandates. I think was it Alberta government that rolled out, or was it the Vancouver government? I can't remember, but they rolled out a return to office again last week. So my thought was, well, obviously the best way to do it would be to give everybody the choice of what they want to do, because as you said before, everybody's an adult. If somebody prefers to work remotely, let them. If somebody prefers to do hybrid, let them. If somebody prefers to be in the office, that's fine. But obviously there's pros and cons to each for employees and the employer, I guess. So you want to talk through some of the pros and cons of all of the different types?
So if you are if you have a small or medium-sized business and you want to give all options available to your employees, the one major downside to it is that is probably the most expensive option that you can choose.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're likely going to have an office space or multiple office spaces, right, depending where you are, that are available. Or you've got some kind of, co-working space done that are available. And you're also probably providing either stipends or equipment to people for working from home, right? And then you're also spending more time on making sure you've got some concrete operating procedures, for want of a better word, and processes in place to enable people to do what they want. And here's the thing, all of these things are very doable. It's very straightforward relatively. You just have good kind of rules around meetings and making sure it's inclusive to in office plus not, and it's fine, but it is more expensive.
That's the thing. It's more effort for management and leadership to have a program like that in place. So, as we've seen with all the RTO mandates, this sweeping standardization is a way to cut costs mostly, and to have leaders have more control over people, basically. Because why not let people work from home or blah, 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 whatever they want to do? But yeah, as you said, it's more expensive because you have to have the option for an office space. You have to have the technology in place for people to be able to do X, Y, and Z. So it's just easier than putting the resources into training and operations to make everything work properly. Why would we bother? Let's just send everybody back 5 days a week, and then, we don't have to think about it. And we'll probably save ourselves a bit of money.
Right.
Yeah.
And I understand when some people make the choice because that's the only choice that they have. What's interesting to me is that if you can't have the full gamut of choice, surely, and if it's for economic reasons, then surely it's you choose the most economical one, and the most economical one is remote working. So why choose full RTO, right? Rather than choosing the most economical one. So that's the thing, is there's 100% the argument that your best method for working that would suit everybody is this notion of kind of full flexibility within some bounds, of course. But if you can't do that for an economic argument,
Yeah.
Why do you then choose kind of also a pretty bad argument, which is, well, we'll get the office anyway, we'll just make everybody come back and
it'll be
we'll
grand.
drop productivity and morale and retention and it'll be okay. Because if you're thinking about it at all, you would come up with a different solution than kind of a full RTO.
Yeah. And there is like a happy medium as well. Like we talked about this before, that if you maybe mandate specific days in the week that all the team are in, and then give them the flexibility with like 2 or 3 other days a week, that focused in-person time could really be beneficial, while also giving people the option to work from home on like a couple of days a week or whatever, if you want people to be in person sometimes, so do it strategically, so that they can, collaborate, etc., on the days that they're in the office, and then have other options for them, instead of just forcing everybody into a one size fits all, because it doesn't suit everybody, right? So if forcing it on people, it just means that they're going to suffer in other ways, because there's pros and cons to each. So say somebody doesn't want to work remote, they need to see people, they don't have anywhere to work in the house, like, that happened a lot in the pandemic when people lived together and there was no spaces or whatever. So fair enough, they should want to go into the office. And then somebody who wants to work hybrid, they might want to see people, but they need quiet time to work at certain times, and they need flexibility because they've got like elderly parents or something like that. That should be okay too. And then people who want to work remote, like that's great. They'll get their work done. But there's going to be a lot of focus on them to deliver results. And there's a lot of pressure on remote workers because they're not visible. So there's that proximity bias that we talked about before. Like, you're in the office 5 days a week, the chances are, those people are going to be seen as more productive, and, might get opportunities that others who work in remote are not. So there's more of a necessity to prove yourself as a remote worker. So, they're probably doing more, if not, more than the people in office. But again, it's just the perception of things. So there is, like, if you want to work remote, you probably have to accept the fact that somebody in the office, like it or not, is going to benefit from proximity bias. But you're also, it's just, even if they work towards not having proximity bias, it's just going to happen naturally.
Yeah.
And so you have to weigh it up, what you care about the most, right? You're like, that's fine, I want to work remote, I can deal with that.
Yeah, Discuss. It's totally true. No, it's totally true. And like, proximity bias is a real thing. And I think I was talking to somebody recently, and I said, we have to talk about like how your company culture is going to develop. And I use company culture for want of a better word that I've still yet to find. And they, there was kind of a conversation where they were saying, well, I'm like, I don't really have time to be thinking about that right now. We've got these other priorities and and like, we'll get to it, kind of thing. And I made the point that your company culture is going to evolve and develop regardless of whether you get involved in it or not. And so you either have to actively get involved in it and shape it the way you want to shape it, or it will just happen anyway, and it may not be how you want it to be. And you have to do it through good policies. You have to go do it through enforcement of policies, and so on. And I think that's kind of where a lot of this comes into play, because the proximity bias theoretically can be helped with like good policies, good performance management, good manager training, learning how to manage via output, right, and not just being present, and all of those different things.
That's a lot of effort.
It's a lot of effort, and if you don't pay attention to it, then that kind of human biases come into play quite heavily with the proximity bias. And so like it is up to companies to try and ensure that is not the culture that happens because they're not looking at it, right? Because that just generates all the toxicity stuff. We had a long series about all of the various biases and stuff, so feel free to go back and look at those. But that's like, human instinct will be to sit into those kind of biases, and there's not really, you kind of have to actively pull your workforce out of it, or ideally from the beginning build in the guardrails that prevents them coming into play.
And that comes right back to what we talked about at the start of the cost of things. There's like the effort involved in doing that, ensuring you have those policies, and just leaders need to be actively involved in that. And a lot of them just don't want to be, or just don't think they have the time, and just resort to the, one size fits all, just to, not have to put that amount of effort in, and making sure they have good management and good people, bless you, in operations. Because like the uniformity of it all makes it easier. but it's not necessarily the best for workers and productivity, etc., etc.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we'll never solve this, or we'll be the one screaming into the void.
I know. I feel like we are going to be like this forever. Yeah. So you know what? We just keep talking about it.
Keep talking about it. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
And like, I have seen a little bit of a rise, because we saw, there was the cycle of like, everybody's remote, so here's all the great ways that this is working, and it was working. And then it was like, oh, people are thinking about like opening up offices for optional for people again. You're like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
And then it's like, whoa, RTO now. Turns out this is the right thing all along, which was all lies.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But now I think we are seeing some backlash. Like, I think we're starting to see more and more people talking about like, actually this doesn't work, and actually this affects, like, all the things we said would happen, but like they're saying, no, we're seeing now the negative effects of this. And I do think really that, like, and again, we talk about this in other
discussions.
Oh my God, discussions. Wow, I just completely lost the train of my brain there for a second. No, completely lost the train of my thought.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's because people are realizing, well, not because, but one of the reasons is that people are realizing that the office is not the same as it was beforehand, right? So nobody ever knew this new reality that we have of like, okay, I can work from home, I can have work-life balance. So trying to, wedge people back into the office 9 to 5 life is just not working, because people have seen the other side. They've seen the opportunities given by hybrid work. And the full-time office doesn't lend itself anymore to the way people live. We're totally different, because people value family time more, and they value their personal time more, and it's just hard to erase the experiences of the last 5 years. Like, one of the things that not annoys me, but like that I'm kind of like, what the hell, like, was we had desktops before. We didn't have to lug our laptops everywhere we went. And now everyone has laptops. They have to lug them pretty much 5 days a week, unless they have a locker that they can lock them in or something like that, right? So now we are carrying the laptops back and forth, even though we're doing all our work in the office. We have our laptops at home. There's like an expectation that you might have to jump on your computer later on in the evening. Like, there's all this like blurred lines between home and work now. And it's just, there's lots of different things about the office that don't work anymore.
And it's and like, this is the thing, it's like people are like, oh, it's RTO because this was better for all of these reasons, and it was like, okay, but you also had the benefit of being able to go home without your work.
Exactly. The cutoff was at, like, say, for example, 5 p.m. You couldn't look at your laptop. You didn't have emails on your phone. Mostly I did just before COVID, but in jobs prior to that, I didn't. And I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have a laptop in my job right before COVID hit. About a year before COVID hit. And it was great. Like, I would just go in the morning, turn on my computer, turn it off in the evening, and that was it. But now, like, say you are in office full time and you're sick, but you have a laptop, there's an expectation that you'll work from home, even if you're sick, because you've got a laptop. But it's like, but working from home isn't obviously, efficient in the company's opinion. So should I work from home if I'm slightly sick?
Right. Like, it's this kind of thing of where, a lot of companies are like, hey, you're not able to work from home anymore because it's better if you're in the office. But also, we fully expect you to be working from home when we want you to be.
Yes, exactly.
So you were going to come into the office and do that work, but we fully expect you to be fully operational outside of your working hours, because you have your laptop, because you're da-da-da-da. It's like, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, which is it? Can I only do my good work in the office or not? And if not, then flexibility is the answer, right?
Yeah. So there's also, they've invested so much in technology for virtual working. What's going to happen to that now? Like,
and that's it. Like, I think they're ignoring, like, you talk about, like, yes, we've changed as a society, we've changed as a working culture, but it's not just the effects of doing, like, people have developed new skills. People have developed the skills of working from home. We've developed new norms in, like, Slack and Teams for how to, like, work together. We've developed norms for video calls. Like, we have these, kind of ways of behaving, and like transcribing and like raising your hand, like all of these things. Like, we've developed new skills that enable us to do this, and just to pretend that, like, oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about it.
Temporary. Forget those skills.
It's like maybe you used to cycle everywhere, then you learned how to drive, and people went, oh, my bad, actually, sorry. There is a car available for you to use at all times, but we have decided that you will get there quicker on a bike. So off you trot.
So sorry.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. And oh my God, even the thoughts of like the commute and stuff like that, the addition of, say, 2 hours a day to just mindless commuting that could be better spent somewhere else,
honestly, could be better spent working. Like if you really want to get
exactly,
into it,
true,
you could even work it, right?
yeah,
If and
yeah,
but yeah,
and that's the thing. People did put more hours in over the pandemic when they were remote. Like, lots of studies have shown that.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. Like I invariably put in more hours remotely, but
yeah,
like in the grand scheme of my day, it's less, right, than I would have been commuting.
yeah, exactly. So like for me now, I commute like 2.5 hours a day. And it's just, and I can't get internet a lot of the time on the subway, so it's not like I can even do like, work or anything like that on it. Like half of the subway has data, the other half doesn't. So it's just kind of like you just have to obviously read and stuff like that, but like I could do that at home. Like I don't have to be doing that just to commute to work from there.
Right.
Like it's just, a waste of time, really. So,
and it's also maybe, you know what? Maybe maybe this is where we start something. Maybe you get back to this notion of like work to rule, right? So if you have an RTO that is like entirety, like you must be in the office to do your work, that's it.
yeah,
Then you leave your laptop in the office, right?
yeah,
And they should have enough building security that should be fine. That's the company's
yeah,
responsibility to ensure that the work equipment is a safe on site.
yeah.
You leave your laptop in the office and that's it. Like as soon as you walk out that door, you are not available. If they call you to do stuff like, sorry, I'm not in the office right now, I cannot do my work.
Yeah.
Maybe we start a movement.
Oh, I 100% agree. That's like, why would I bring my laptop home? I don't need it.
Yeah.
So
You've said I have to be in the office to work.
Exactly.
So therefore I will take you at your word.
That's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Start a movement, Leslie, start a revolution.
I am in the midst of it. So
I say all of this like just from a place of empathy because I'm still fully working remotely.
Well, we have different perspectives on it, So, and I am all for, like, I don't want to work remote fully because I just find that I live alone and I don't get to see people, and I just like to get out of the house, even just to go to walk to the streetcar and blah 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 blah. But I like the flexibility of being able to work at home and then go and wash, come back to the computer. That takes 2 minutes or whatever. It's not like I'm spending an hour cleaning the floors or something during work from home.
Right.
But maybe I'll take 5 minutes to put the dishwasher on, and it's just it's a good break. And also in office work, there's so much time wasted just doing things like the time wasted walking to another floor or something like that to talk to somebody or go to a meeting, whereas you could all just join remotely and it's very efficient and streamlined. But now, like, there's like booking a room, not enough seats, the technology doesn't work in the room, all this type of stuff that time waste, but is not considered, because you can't see it. Again, we talked about this, the tangibility of it all. You can't really see the time, money wasted with that type of stuff.
I definitely would. There's an argument to be made that as much, if not more, time is wasted around the office and all the in-between stuff than there is remotely.
Yes.
And some of that is valuable. You get a lot of the corridor conversations and all of that can be incredibly valuable.
Exactly.
But like it does have an effect on productivity, and there is a balance to strike there.
Exactly.
And I think the only reason I would bring that up is because I can acknowledge the benefits of like the corridor conversations. You're walking past someone's desk and they go, "Oh, Leslie, actually, there are huge benefits to that. Huge. Don't get me wrong, but don't gaslight me and tell me it's about productivity." Because those things are beneficial, but they actually negatively affect productivity. So like choose a lane on this one,
Yeah, well, that's why they can't seem to choose a lane or be honest, in the RTO mandate, like announcements and things like that. It's like productivity and culture and all this stuff. Just say we don't have strong enough management to have a flexible.
Honestly, and the thing is, I would respect them more if said, "Hey, we've tried. Like, we have not managed to get our management of people's performance to the level that we feel we can effectively run this company remotely, and so we are going to do a portion of it or all of it in office because that is the best we can do right now." I would respect that much more.
So much more than the smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. Or even just from like, because I like to default remote. I do remote normally with an increasingly more travel, and that's great. That's fine. But like, I also can completely appreciate the people who want to be in the office, right? I can hold space. I can hold space for like all of those people. But I feel like the must like want to be in the office folks cannot comprehend, like cannot kind of hold the space for any other like opinions in that. And I think that's kind of like a, you know.
I see comments from people on things online being like, good, back to work with you and all this stuff. Like, it's not back to work. It's like we're working. And you have to realize that some jobs don't lend themselves, you know, to working full time in the office, or, you know, they lend themselves better to having in-person time and remote time or something like that. It's, again, not a one size fits all. It's just this, some jobs require you to be in person, but if it's operationally feasible for you to not be in person all the time, that's okay too, you know? So I don't like when I see those comments saying like, yeah, you should be in the office. It's like, but why though? You know,
like tell that to all the people who like got so burnt out when their workload went up when they were working remotely, because they were working like so much more. You know?
And I know there are people who take the piss, and but their output should be measured, and therefore, you know, they're taking the piss, right?
Yeah, that's not like an unsolvable problem. And also there's also loads of people who take the piss working in the office too.
Oh my God, so many. So that's, you know,
not that problem is it exists across the board.
People are going to find a way to DOS, or you know, I don't know what the word would you use.
I don't know
for
what
DOS?
the word is. No, I don't know what the word is. The DOSers.
The ones.
That might be a new one for us to try translation, to find a translation for Canadian translation for.
Yeah. What would you call DOSers? How would you explain what it is? People who...
Explain what it is people who are always trying to skive off work.
Yeah. Chatting and
maybe is skive also a thing over here? I don't know, because we'll have to explain that one as well. Russian doll of explanations.
None of which makes sense to anybody outside of the island of Ireland.
It's when you like you kind of do everything you can to not work. Everything possible that you can come up with that is also kind of obvious as well. Like you're always trying to get out of something, or you're never around when people need you, and there's always an excuse. A dosser.
It's not a good thing, but it's kind of like a light affection. It's not even affectionate. It's a light way of saying that you don't do any work.
Yeah, it's like calling someone an idiot. Like it's you know, or an idiot. It's inoffensive. Yeah. Not it's not as hard as like calling someone an asshole.
It's exactly. It's acceptable.
Up the other end. Calls a an awful dosser.
It's a great word. Anyway, I could talk about this for hours, but I think we should cut it there. But we will continue our campaign to improve flexibility and choice for people.
Let's maybe by the time this goes out, or the next time, we'll know whether or not the Blue Jays are the World Series champions or not.
Oh my God, yes. I don't even want to touch, but
I had some.
Okay, good. You did for both of us. Okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go light a candle maybe later. That never fails. Absolutely never fails.
Manifest it.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back then.
Yes, one way or the other, we will be back.
Whether you like it or not.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
Bye.